Now, I don't know many golfers that would say no. In fact, no golfers would say no to this. A pro telling them that this simple analogy is going to help them add 10 yards to their drive. Am I right? So this is my ringing the towel analogy. That is all about that distance and that feeling of when you go from the top of your backswing to downswing. That transitional point, that is so key on you being able to deliver more power, more consistency with the big dog. Now, you probably heard that statement before, but I've used this same analogy with so many of my clients, and it allows them to be able to stand there with driver, swing so much easier, but see that golf ball fly so much further. Now, this is the analogy that I want you to use. Now, grab a golf glove, or if you want to go really on this, go and grab a wet towel. Okay, so I want you to imagine your left hand represents your hip line, okay? Your right hand represents your top of your body, okay? So you can imagine right now, we wind up in the backswing, we've got our bottom hand representing our hips, our top hand representing our torso. Now, what we want to do here is, as we start that transition between backswing and downswing, we want this towel to be wrung as big as possible, right? So we want our left to be wringing it to the left as much as possible, and our right hand to wring it to the right as much as possible. That would get as much water to come out as possible, right? That would create as much coil in your golf swing as possible. Now, the correct term for this is an X-factor stretch. What we're looking for is that feeling of the biggest stretch you can possibly get between our upper and our lower. Now, think about why a towel analogy works really well. It's simple. We probably do it most days when we're doing the dishes. So that feeling of you being able to understand this is so key on you being able to deliver more power and more torque, but actually probably feel like you're swinging not as hard. Too many of us are putting the power just with this. Now, you also equally might be thinking, Alex, I'm too old for that. Well, I disagree. I've done this tip with young golfers, new golfers, and more senior golfers. So it's so key that you do this to the best of your ability, okay? So this is bringing it to live now. My right hand on the top of the towel, my glove. This is my left hand on the bottom of the towel. So what I was saying was here, can you wring it as much as possible, okay? That would be me wringing it as much as possible at the top of the backswing. Now, far too many of us don't wring any water out of it. It stays absolutely sodden, okay? So your simple analogy I want you to think about here is being able to wring the towel as much as possible at that top of the backswing to downswing position. So bringing that tip alive, well, this is how you're going to do it. So the first stage to this drill, really nice and simple, and I think you can do this at home right now and take second stage when you go to the range later this evening. So arms across the chest, all you're simply going to do is turn that to the top. So at this point, we've spoken about this in backswing videos before, and I'll leave some links down below to them. We want more upper body turn than lower body turn, right? So we're already getting a bit of water out of that towel. Now we're looking to create more of this, right? So what I want you to do here is arms on a wall, okay? It doesn't have to be slanted like this, it could be anything. What I want you to get that feeling of is keeping your hands on the wall but wringing out that lower half. So belt buckle working to target. And there you go, 1, 2, on the third rep, go, swing the arms down and through. Now, the reason why I said before about this tip being accessible for everybody is you can just do that ringing movement to the best of your ability. If you get 1% better at that, you're going to hit the golf ball further. Simple. You're going to hit the golf ball further. So this is really important you have a go at this. So again, up, arms on, 1, 2, 3, swing the arms down and through. So let's take this into a situation where you're now going at stage 2, taking this down to the range. So if you're going to bring this into your golf game, you need a simple feeling. So before we hit some drives away, I want you to address the golf ball. I want you to put your hands at the top of the backswing, and I want you to try and just leave them there. But again, do the same thing we just did. 1, 2, 3, let them drop through. So you're really thinking about that towel analogy. Can I make as much water ring out as possible? Simple, right? You can start to see why so many golfers have used this and actually hit the golf ball further. So I'm going to hit this one away now. All I'm going to do is do it slowly for ball 1 and gradually increase the speed to when I feel comfortable in the fact that I'm making a bigger X factor stretch. So here we go. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and drop. Now I'm ready to hit. And I would slowly get faster, faster, and faster. Up until that point, I was comfortable to take this straight out on the golf course. So let's have a look at me doing this drill. So this is me on a full driver swing. So getting to the top of the backswing, have a look at my hip line to my shoulder line. Imagine that analogy of me wringing out that water, right? You can really see my hips opening up more than my shoulder line to start that downswing. Now that is so key if you're looking to increase your speed but feel like there's less effort happening in your swing. You can start to see why 10 yards is going to be so achievable for you. Thank you so much for watching today's YouTube video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you know what I'm going to say. It really helps me, it helps the channel grow if you could 1, subscribe, and 2, hit that thumbs up button too.